want to name it something that's useful so that you know what it is. And then you just start clicking and dragging. So you want enough of these black MOS just to do what you need the projector to do. So we're gonna, let's do a black MOS 10 second. So there you go. And let's do a black MOS 5 second. There we go. Let's give it a 5 second at the end. All right. So you can see it also, it starts building here. Now, this is, we don't have any of the cues yet, right? But what you can do is save show, load show to play. So that's what we just named it. It's in here. So black MOS, black MOS. So that's not really playable yet. But now, if we go back over here, so the main server and the projectors are separate entities that communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. But sometimes to get them to communicate, so like we just did something directly on the projector. The server doesn't know that we were just messing around on that projector. But if we tell it to this little or this clockwise little green circle update, we are manually telling the server to reach out and communicate with the projectors, and it will extract any new information from those projectors, including the SPL that we just started messing with.
Great.
So you just started essentially a rough draft on the projector in case something
all that stuff is gone.
In case something happens to that template. So we started a rough draft. Now we're going to bring the rough draft over here because it's a lot easier to add those cues. So we're going to, yes, it'll always give you that warning message of like, hey, this takes time. It doesn't. It'll take 15 seconds. All right, so now what just appeared is 0127 screen 2 test SPL that we just created over on 2. We now have it visible here for our use. So again, can't do anything in manage. We want to change it. We want to mess with it. We have to go over to create. And then it defaults to just, here's your movies. We want to go click over here to SPL. Now, double click on it. Here it is right here. Now we can start adding whatever we want to it. So highlight, right click, add cue, and we want to add, so broker is flat. So first thing we want to add is DCI XYZ flat. I'm going to change it to screen 2 because we're dealing with screen 2, of course. So that, I'm going to hit OK. From clip start, and then just going to click it once. So from the very first frame of this placeholder, it's going to add that cue, or add cue, OK. And now there's our little upside down triangle. The cue is labeled. So now if we were to press play on this SPL right now, the projector will start playing it, and it'll hit that cue, and it will adjust the lens to make sure that the lens is flat.
Beautiful.
We have not added projection start to strike the bulb. We have not added open the dowser. We have not added the trailer's cue to bring the house lights down. That's all stuff you'd have to go through and add. But
you can do that, all that.
But you
from
would
right click.
You just do all that, right? Yep. So this one is, so here's your, that's adjusting the lens. So this second one, right click, add cue, back to your screen, screen 2. We want this one to do projection start. That's our bulb. From clip start, from frame 1, add, so it pops up in the middle here. Okay. Now the triangle appears, it's like not at the very edge here, but I mean, we know that it's fine. It's not a totally accurate visual representation. It's also kind of because this little black MOS clip is literally like 4 seconds long. So now we've got our lens, we've got our bulb. Go into policies and drag black MOS 1 second. I do not like to put too many cues onto one CPL. I don't know for sure that it would cause a problem. I was just always trained to give them a little room to breathe so that nothing accidentally cancels anything
Double
else out.
triggers or
Yeah.
doesn't read. Yeah, I like that.
So, right, and literally, I mean, so this is 10 seconds, this is 5 seconds, this one's only 1 second. So we're still talking, this is less than 30 seconds of real time. Screen 2. Let's see, so we've got, we need our dowser. Which one is our dowser? This one, we just did projection start. Is this show start? Start show. Start show, okay. So we have now added some cues. You can save this directly to screen 2. So you'll notice it doesn't give you an option to save it to the server
Because
we didn't create it on the server. Right.
it.
It's just reading it from projector 2 because they're communicating.
So the next step that's on there would be the lights.
Yeah, I mean you
to
would go in and you could keep adding cues indefinitely.
Right.
You know, we don't have to do that right this moment, but
That's awesome.
But you could. So that is how you could start from scratch. I don't believe that those templates should disappear.
Okay.
But if they
In the
were,
event.
In the event, yes. In the event that they were, that there was a problem, then all right, and then so you can see now those little red triangles that were not there before. Now they're there because we added cues. Projection start show, blah blah blah. So that would get you started on the projector, communicate it with your server, and then it's a little more user friendly to sit there and right click.
And now that those cues are there to be able to start show, basically, up to the point of start show, now, in theory, we have a playable file.
Right.
The lights will still be on because we haven't done it, but other than that, we would be good.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in a pinch and you just got to get something on screen, then you could do that lickety split, just get it done, because just having, you know, so Avatar and Banshees, like those movies, the files exist on this projector. At some point, I sent the files over here. They are unplayable. They are useless to you if they are not in some kind of a playlist that the projector can recognize. Okay. So this is a half-assed playlist that we just tinkered with real quick, but it is a playlist.
Yep.
So you could press play on it right now, and then, oh shit, I forgot the lights cue. Well, okay, you just come over here and you hit your stage lights down and then your lights down. So the stage, that's the 3 bulbs directly above the screen, and then the generic lights, that's your wall sconces and stuff. So you can mash them down a couple of times, and hey, look at that! That auditorium is real dark now. So
God.
That's also what you do for Blu-ray and DVD events where there are no cues.
Right, you're
pre-
up here
you-
starting it
You
yourself.
press play on your movie, and the opening. It's the Disney Castle or the Warner Brothers logo. While that logo is on screen, you just reach over here and hit your lights cue.
Awesome.
Now I'm just mashing them back up, and lights will come back up, and you can do that all day. You can do that to your heart's content.